Welcome to our gentle Vinyasa flow. In today's class, we're going to be doing a balancing chair. And to help us with that, I want to practice our Mula Bandha first. So we'll come to a comfortable seated position of Sukhasana. And we'll start by just rocking from side to side, grounding our sits bones, trying to create equal pressure so that we have our weight distributed evenly between both sides of the body. Let's go ahead and stack the spine and pack the shoulders. Maybe roll the shoulders back 2 or 3 times. Just think about sliding those shoulder blades into your back hip pockets, lifting your sternum, drawing your abs in and up, and pressing up to the crown of your head nice and tall. Now, bringing our awareness back to those sits bones. Mula Bandha is a pelvic floor. It's a root lock. It's like lifting the pelvic floor. And I've heard it described different ways. I've heard it said one way is right, one way is wrong. I'm going to give you both ways, 2 ways at least, and you can find what works best for you. The way I've first heard it described, it's like when you're driving in the car, you gotta go to the bathroom, you gotta hold it in, and the muscles that you would clench to stop the flow of urine are pelvic floor muscles. So you can think of it that way. But I want to emphasize that it's not a clenching, it's not a bearing down, it's just a light hold, so lifting the pelvic floor. And someone told me that's not right. The way you do it is you find those sits bones, which we just became aware of, and we imagine what muscles we would engage to try to draw those sits bones closer together. So either way, you want to feel a light lift in the pelvic floor. And that, the way I experience it is, it's like I'm creating stability from the very core of my body, and also I'm connecting both sides of my body to help me be stable in a balancing pose. So let's think about that. Let's just take a couple breaths and just think about trying it a couple times, just lifting the pelvic floor, either those muscles of urination or drawing those sits bones together, whatever works best in your mind. Let's combine that with some breath. Let's use our belly breath. And as we inhale and expand the belly, we can relax the pelvic floor. And as we exhale, we press the belly and we can lift the pelvic floor. So everything's sort of pulling in together. We can exhale either through the nose or through pursed lips to release it. Inhale, engage everything, belly and pelvic floor, squeezing in, pulling up. Exhale, relaxing and releasing. A couple more breaths at your own pace. As you finish that up, just return to normal breath. So I'll take an inhale through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth, seal our lips, and practice our Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Now bringing our fingertips down to the mat, packing our shoulders. We can inhale to sweep our arms up, turning our thumbs back, exhaling, pressing back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Inhale, lift. And press. On the next inhale, just that right arm comes straight up. And as we exhale, we can take it over to the left side if we'd like, increasing the bend in the right side of the body. We can keep breathing here, trying to expand those right side ribs. You can also slide this left hand farther out to deepen this stretch a little bit. And if you can keep your sits bones down, you can also drop to your elbow for a deeper bend yet. And breathe, expand that rib cage. We'll inhale back up. We'll exhale back down. Let's inhale that left arm up. Exhale it over. Using breath to expand the ribs. Option to slide this right hand farther out. Option to drop to our elbow. That deeper side body stretch. Breathe and expand. We'll rise back up. We'll bring it back down. Let's just brush our fingertips in a half circle around the body. Just mobilizing the spine, warming it up a little bit, and then let's just sweep that left hand behind us, press ourselves up nice and tall. The right hand comes to the left thigh. Inhale tall, exhale, we'll take a twist to the left side. Not too strong, just gentle, just again, we're still warming up here, so breathe and stack the spine, and then take a deeper twist, looking over the shoulder perhaps. Take your time here, let your body settle into the stretch. We can relax back to center. We can sweep the right hand behind the back, pressing ourselves up tall. Left hand coming to the thigh. Inhale, stacking the spine. Exhale, making your twist. Breathe and turn. Nice and gentle. Come back to center. Let's bring our hands down to the floor, coming into all fours, hands and knees. You've always got that option to make fists for wrists here. That feels better for your wrists to be aligned that way. Oh, okay. We're going to have our wrists under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. We're going to draw the abs in. We're going to slide the shoulder blades down the back and like to find lots of length in the neck. Let's create space between the ears and shoulders. We'll begin with cat-cow. We'll inhale into cow, lifting the chest and tailbone, looking forward. We'll exhale into cat, scooping the abs, looking in. Inhale, lift, look forward. Exhale, scoop it in. Follow your own breath. Let the breath cue you. When your breath says inhale, then you lift. When your breath says exhale, then you hold in. As you finish your next round, we'll come back to a neutral spine. Sliding shoulder blades down, drawing the abs in. Now let's shift the ribs from side to side. Try to push the rib cage out to the left and right. Just mobilizing things here, loosening up. Coming back to center, we're going to roll the rib cage in a circle now. So let's start by lifting into cow. We'll press the ribs to the right, we'll scoop into cat, we'll press the ribs to the left, and come back to cow. That's one time. Let's do two more times this direction. Rolling the rib cage around, once more. Then reversing direction, pushing ribs left, scooping into cat, pushing ribs right, coming back to cow. 2, one more. And then coming back to neutral, backing the shoulders, drawing the abs in, now sliding our right foot back. Curling the toes under so we can rock on the ball of the foot and loosen up the calf. Mobilize the ankle joint. Soften up the sole of the foot. Then we can float that right foot across the left foot. We can look over the left shoulder. We can rock here. You can always kind of push your right hip out a little bit here as well, deepen the stretch. And then floating that right leg straight out behind us, pressing out through the heel, keeping the leg nice and active. Extending the left arm forward, as though we're shaking someone's hand. Now let's draw the abs in. Let's start with the core, embrace the core. Now try to make a circle with your hand and foot. In reverse directions. All the while trying to stabilize that core. We'll come back down to hands and knees. Now sliding the left foot back. Rocking on the ball of the foot, loosening things up down there. Breathing, stretching. And then floating that left foot across that right foot. Looking over the right shoulder, perhaps pushing the left hip out. Rocking here. And then floating that leg out behind us once again, nice and strong. Right arm forward, stabilizing the core, and then circling 3 times in one direction. Reversing direction. Coming back to stillness. Coming back to hands and knees. Let's take our first child's pose of the day. We'll bring our big toes together, open our knees wide, and sink our heels back. Sliding our fingertips forward, floating the forehead down to the mat. Let's really bring some awareness to our lower back. And as those hips sink toward our heels, our lower back might feel a nice stretch, a nice decompression. As we open up those intervertebral discs and gently traction the spine. And then we can slowly walk our hands in. Coming up to a seated position, letting the blood return to our brain so we're not getting dizzy. And then stepping one foot forward, then the other, finding ourselves in a nice forward fold. Our knees can be soft. We can rest our bellies on our thighs. The head can hang heavy. And then we can grab opposite elbows with each hand, coming to ragdoll, nodding the head yes, shaking the head no, releasing tension from the neck, swaying the arms in and out or side to side, releasing the shoulders and back. And then releasing our fingertips down to the floor. With our next inhale, we're going to rise up halfway, coming to a flat back. We can prop our hands against our shins for support. Still trying to slide those shoulder blades down the back, trying to lengthen the front body. I recommend keeping your gaze down for the most part so your neck remains in line with your spine. Find a couple of breaths here. Just practice this for a moment. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, release down to forward fold. Inhale, lift back up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. On our next inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up and rise all the way up. And then hang out here. On our next inhale, find lots of length in the spine. On the exhale, we'll take a baby back bend. Now on our back bend, we're not just dumping into our backs. We're lifting and then coming up and over. So the hips aren't like slumping forward. I am creating lift and arch here, so my ribs are kind of coming up and over. Baby back. These breaths would stand. Inhale. On our next exhale, we'll swan dive. Arms out to the side, knees are soft, coming all the way back down to forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift and rise. This time go right into your back bend. Lift, back bend. Exhale to your forward fold, your swan dive. Inhaling halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Back bend. One more swan dive here. Halfway lift. And fold. And rise up to back bend. And as we exhale, let's come through heart center. Push our hips back. And sink into a nice, easy chair. Keeping the shoulder blades sliding down the back. Keeping the neck long. You have options for hands today. You can do heart center, which is what I'm going to do. You can always extend your arms straight forward. You can also sweep your arms up past your ears if that works for you. But if you're kind of like this trying to do it, just go straight out instead. So try to find what works best. I'm saying heart center because I'm going to use my balancing chair today. So let's activate Mula Bandha. Lift the pelvic floor. Now raise your heels off the floor. High as you can lift those heels. Balance and breathe. Find a stationary spot. And lower back down. Inhale, rise up. Baby back bend. Exhale, back to chair. Inhale, lift those heels. Let's hold it for a few breaths. Now in our flow, we'll just lift and lower the heels, but for now we'll hold it for a little bit and get some balance practice in here. Don't forget Mula Bandha. Relax the heels down. Up lift. Baby back bend. Exhale, chair. Inhale, heels up. Balance in chair. Hold it for a couple of breaths. Bring those heels down. Inhale, rise. Baby back. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to baby back bend. Exhale, right into chair. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, rise, back bend. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to back bend. Exhale, sink to chair. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, rise one more time. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, baby back bend. Exhale, into chair. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Inhale and rise. Let's just come back to heart center. Take a breath. Let's build on that with some additional poses to strengthen our legs. And in this next little flow that I'm going to build with you, I'm going to have an option for you. We've had this before. We'll come out of a pyramid pose either into a deeper pyramid or revolved triangle. If you'd like to have a chair handy, when we get to revolved triangle, briefly, we'll be in a pyramid stance, we'll be in a flat back. If you want to go to revolved triangle, you can skip the chair, just bring your hand down to your leg or the floor and open up the side this way. But you can also bring one hand down and this hand, the side that we're turning toward, to the chair, to push into the chair to deepen your twist this way. Or you can bring your other hand up here to brace yourself for balance and to deepen the twist this way. So you can use the chair or not. There's at least two ways to use it. With either hand, either pushing this way or leveraging yourself this way. Options for chair. We'll get to those toward the end of our little flow. Our little flow will start in mountain. We're going to go through, we just practiced, and then add on to it. So let's inhale, baby back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back bend. Exhale into chair. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, rise to back bend. Exhale to heart center. Inhale, lift, step back with the left foot. Now, this arms can be extended arms that I'm using. They can be cactus arms. They can be prayer hands, whatever you like. I'll be doing this, but you can do whatever you like. We've got the left leg back in a high crescent lunge. We can hang out here for a few breaths. We can lower and lift that back knee a couple of times. Whatever we like. Just strengthen the leg a little bit if you like. Now let's inhale and rise slightly and exhale, pivoting the back heel down, coming into warrior one. So warrior one, we've got that back leg straight, the back foot at about a 45-degree angle. We're grounding into the outside edge of the back foot. The front leg is bent, the knee is over the ankle. Eventually we'd like to get to a 45 or a 90-degree bend here, but we can do it with what we can do in our warrior one. Hang here for a breath or two, try to lift the upper front body. Sink the hips. Now the hips probably aren't going to square perfectly here, but you can kind of try to square them a little bit if you like. And let's come into humble warrior. Inhale, expand the chest, sweep the arms behind, interlace the fingers. Let's roll our shoulders back and down. Next inhale, we lift the front body. Exhale, we're going to fold to flat back for starters. Pack the shoulders again, lift the arms. We can hang out here at flat back if we don't mind. If we don't want to drop our head below our heart, we can keep here. If we want to go deeper, we can. Release the head down, lift the arms up into humble warrior. Breathing and sinking. Now we'll make a flow out of this later. We'll cut out some of these little rest periods, these little flourishes and so forth. We'll make it quicker and smoother. But for now, our first time through, let's really experience the pose. Next inhale, we'll rise up. We can release the arms, hands to hips. Inhale, lift, exhale ourselves into pyramid prep. So pyramid prep is a little bit shorter stance than our warrior one. And in pyramid prep, reminder that our feet are hip width apart. We're not trying to line up our feet one in front of the other. We want train track feet, so we're stable. We inhale the front body tall, we exhale, we're folding at our hip crease, coming down to flat back. Now here's where our option comes in. Next inhale, we're going to lengthen the spine. On the exhale, option one, just go deeper into your fold. You can bring your hands to your shin, to the floor, to blocks, your head can hang. So just go into a deeper pyramid as one option. Option two would be to use your chair or the floor or your hand or your leg, and then we'll go into our revolved triangle. Right arm comes up, turning to the right, Spine is long. Breathing, lengthening the spine. Either option. We're going to inhale, come back to our flat back pyramid. Exhale the back foot forward. Now we're in our forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to baby back bend. Exhale into chair. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, rise, baby back bend. Exhale, heart center. Inhale the right foot back rather. Choose your arms. Exhale, settle into crescent lunge. You can hang out here. You can bend and extend. So these are the sort of flourishes, as I call them, that we're not going to use in the actual flow. But as we start stumbling into the pose in the beginning, give us a chance to play with things a little bit. Let's inhale to lift and exhale to pivot that back foot down into warrior one. So again, front knee over front ankle, back leg straight and strong, hips are square-ish. Let's inhale and lift and exhale, shortening our stance, coming to our pyramid prep. Inhale, lift the front body. Exhale, come to that flat back pyramid, a halfway lifted pyramid. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, take an option, either release deeper or go into your revolved triangle. Long spine. Trying to stack our shoulders as best we can. And we'll inhale back to that flat back pyramid. We'll exhale the back foot forward, so we're in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to baby back bend. Exhale into chair. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, rise. Exhale back to heart center. Take a breath, grab a drink. Let's put all that together. Again, I'm going to cut out all the extra flourishes and just pretty much move on the breath. Okay. Starting in mountain. Now rise up, baby back. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, baby back bend. Exhale into chair. Inhale the heels off the floor. Exhale the heels down. Inhale, rise, back bend. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, left foot steps back, crescent lunge. Exhale, settle into it. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, pivot into warrior one. Inhale, expand the chest, interlace fingers. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise into pyramid prep. Exhale into flat back pyramid. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Here's your option, forward fold or revolve triangle on the exhale. Inhale back to flat back. Exhale the back foot forward into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to back bend. Exhale, sink into chair. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart center. Inhale the right foot back into high lunge. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lift and lower. Exhale into warrior one. Inhale, open the chest, interlace fingers. Exhale, fold forward, humble warrior. Inhale, lift right into pyramid prep. Exhale, forward fold, flat back. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, deepen your fold or take your twist, your choice. Inhale back to flat back. Exhale that back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, back bend. Exhale, chair. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, left foot, crescent lunge. Sink into it. Inhale, exhale, warrior one. Inhale, expand the chest, lace the fingers. Exhale into humble warrior. Inhale, rise right into pyramid prep. Exhale, fold to flat back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold deeper or take a twist. Inhale, back to flat back. Exhale, the back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up into baby back bend. Exhale into chair. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, rise up, baby back bend. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, right leg back into high lunge. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, sink into warrior one. Inhale, expand the chest, interlace the fingers. Exhale, hinge forward into humble warrior. Inhale, hands to hips, rise up, shorten stance, come right into pyramid prep. Inhale, lift your front body. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen that spine. Exhale, take your option. Twist or deeper fold. Inhale the flat back and exhale the back foot forward into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up into back bend. Exhale, sink into chair. Inhale, balance in chair. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heart center. One more round on each side. Inhale, left foot back into high crescent lunge. Exhale to sink. Inhale to rise. Exhale into warrior one. Inhale to expand the front body, interlace fingers. Exhale to fold into humble warrior. Inhale, hands to hips, rise up, pivot right into pyramid prep. Exhale, hinging flat back pyramid. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your option, deeper fold or revolve triangle. Inhale, back to flat back. Exhale, the back foot forward into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up into baby back bend. Exhale into the chair. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart center. Last time, inhale, right leg back. High crescent lunge. Exhale and sink. Inhale, lift and exhale into warrior one. Inhale, expand the front body. Raise the fingers. Exhale, hinge forward, lift the arms. Humble warrior. Inhale, hands to hips, shorten stance. Swing right into pyramid prep. Exhale, long spine, flat back pyramid. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take your deeper fold or your revolve triangle. Exhale, back down. Shorten the stance. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Back bend. Exhale, chair. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart center. Let's catch our breath. It's a lot of flowing. We'll take our breath and then we'll move to a different position. We'll come to a sideways position now. Do some other stuff. Open our hips more this time. Using Skandasana, using Anjaneyasana, using Hanumanasana. So, when you're ready, take your stance, your wide leg stance, and you're sort of like, approximation is you want the length of your leg between your feet. But really once you get there, you have to check and see if your knees still point towards your toes. Just look the angle of your feet or just the width of your stance to make sure your knees are pointing towards your toes. That's the main thing. Now, when I do the sunflowers, we'll do moonflowers first, like this. Sunflowers is where we swoop and we scoop up those flowers in our arms. And I never talk about this, like which arm is on top. I tend to kind of alternate it, but like I never actually said much about it. But for today, we're going to be working flows, on both sides of the mat. This way, ba 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 ba. This way, ba 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 ba. So for today, when we do the right side flow, we'll just keep that right arm on top for each rep. And then we do the left side flow later, we'll have the left arm on top. We'll break it down. So as in the previous flow, I'm going to go through some poses. I'm going to repeat them a few times and sink in deeper a little bit for this first time through, just to learn the pose and warm everything up. And then we'll break and we'll flow through it, just going through the poses without the flourishes. So we have our stance. Our shoulders are packed. We inhale into star pose. Nice active fingers. We exhale, moonflowers. Inhale, rise. Exhale, moonflowers. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Now we inhale back up. This time we exhale sunflowers, right arm on top. Swoop and scoop for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Now, hands to heart center. We're going to sink into Malasana. You may want to adjust your feet here. Yoga squat. We'd like to bring our forearms, our elbows, inside our thighs. We can sit on a block if we need to. We can hover higher if we need to. We can adjust our feet closer in if we need to. Yoga squat. Find what works for you, and then inhale and rise. Exhale all the way down, yoga squat. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay down on 1. Let's bring our hands over to the right foot. We can extend that left leg out. We can walk the heel out. We'll flex that left foot. We'll sink into this right leg for our side lunge, our Skandasana. If you'd like to lift your heel off the floor, that works better for you, you can, but I'm grounding my heel, flexing my foot. A couple of breaths here, breathing and sinking. And then I'm walking my hands around to the side, so I'm pivoting so I can drop that back knee down. If you want to grab a blanket here or a towel to push in your knee, you're welcome to. We'll uncurl those toes, moving into our Anjaneyasana. So we can walk that back foot a little further back if we need to open the hip more to feel the stretch there. We can bring our hands up to our thigh, lift the chest. I recommend lifting the chest. If you stay folded forward, you won't stretch your hip as much. I like to lift the chest if I can. And I can also pack my shoulders and sweep up if I like to. So lots of options here. Sort of pressing forward and down, feeling openness and stretch in the hips and quads here in Anjaneyasana. Let's breathe. Use sinking breath. Inhale. On the exhale, you might find a little more sinking, a little more opening of the hand. Inhale. Exhale. And then we're going to press back into Hanumanasana. Folding the chest forward toward the thigh, keeping the spine long. Feeling the stretch. And the hamstrings. Breathing and sinking. And again, we'll do these with we'll hold these in our first time through, but later we're going to just flow them. But they'll be nice and warmed up when we flow them. Let's sink forward again. Walk the hands up the thigh or extend the arms up for Anjaneyasana. The cool thing about Anjaneyasana going into Hanumanasana is that Anjaneya, I think that's the name of the prince, and Hanuman are the same person. Hanuman is sort of the reincarnation of Anjaneya. So we're kind of taking one pose, Anjaneyasana, and then transforming it into Hanumanasana. Just as Anjaneya was transformed into the monkey god Hanuman. And this pose represents Hanuman leaping across the ocean to save someone. Some of these poses actually have a backstory, believe it or not. Let's shift back forward, and this time we can walk our hands back in, come back to our Skandasana briefly. Now we're coming back to Malasana, so you may want to cheat that other foot in and find Malasana and rise. Let's do our 5 moonflowers. This time we're orienting ourselves to the left side in a moment. So inhale tall, exhale moonflowers. For 3, for 2, 1 more moonflowers. Coming up on sunflowers. This time left arm on top because we're going to the left this side. Exhale, swoop and scoop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swoop and scoop. For 3, for 2, and 1. Now Malasana. Adjust your feet if you need to. Exhale, sink. Inhale, rise. For 4, for 3, for 2, and we'll stay down on 1. Bring our hands over to our left foot. We can slide that right foot out, shift ourselves into Skandasana, side lunge. Breathe and sink. Couple of breaths here. Then walking our hands around the left foot, swiveling around so we can drop that right knee. Again, grab a blanket or towel if you like to cushion it, and curl the toes. Walk the foot back to open the hip more if you need to. Let's bring the hands up to the thigh, lift the chest, optionally pack the shoulders, sweep up. And then just sink forward, sink into it, opening your hip and stretching your quads. Those exhales, you might find a little more opening. Let's press ourselves back into Hanumanasana. Keeping the spine long, folding the chest forward, stretching our hamstrings. Breathing and sinking. And then sliding forward once more. Walking the hands up onto Vinyasa, low lunge. And then shifting back, flexing that front foot. Spine is long. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, press deeper into Hanumanasana. And we will shift forward into low lunge, walk ourselves around to Skandasana, narrow the stance a bit if we need to shift back to Malasana, and then inhale to rise. Catch your breath. Grab a quick drink. Let's put all that together, again, without the flourishes, without the long holds. Just flowing through the poses, starting with moonflowers, sunflowers, Malasana, Skandasana, Padasana, 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 Yadasana, Yadasana, Yadasana. That's my version of yada 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 for yoga. Yadasana, Yadasana, Yadasana. Just made that up. I may have to copyright that. All right. Find your stance. Stack your spine, pack your shoulders, levelize your pelvis, all that good stuff. Inhale, extend. Exhale, moonflowers. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right arm on top for sunflowers. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Malasana. Now hang out here, walk your hands over, come into Skandasana. And then walk it around to low lunge and rise up to Anjaneyasana. Sink back, Hanumanasana. We'll slide back forward to low lunge and pivot around into Skandasana. You may want to cheat that foot in. Come back to Malasana. Inhale to rise. Exhale, moonflowers. Inhale, rise. Sunflowers, left hand on top this time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Malasana. Walk the hand over to the left foot. Extend the right leg. Skandasana. Pivot around to low lunge. Inhale, rise, Anjaneyasana. Shift the weight back. Lengthen and fold forward. Hanumanasana. Shift it back up to low lunge. Pivot it around to Skandasana. Cheat that right foot in if you need to. Shift back center, Malasana. Inhale, rise. Exhale, moonflowers. Inhale, rise, right arm on top for sunflowers. Inhale, rise, Malasana. Walk to the right foot, extend the left leg, Skandasana. Swivel around, low lunge, and rise to Anjaneyasana. Shift back, flex the front foot, hinge forward, Hanumanasana. Slide forward, pivot around, Skandasana. Cheat the foot in, back to center, Malasana. Inhale, rise. Exhale, moonflowers. Inhale, rise. Left arm on top for sunflowers. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Malasana. Walk over to the left foot. Extend the right leg and sink into Skandasana. Walk around that left leg. Drop the back leg down. Rise up. Anjaneyasana. Straighten the front leg. Fold forward. Hanumanasana. Slide forward and pivot around to Skandasana. Cheat the right foot in. Back to center. Malasana. Inhale and rise. One more time for each side. Exhale, moonflowers. Inhale, rise. Exhale, right arm on top for sunflowers. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Malasana. Walk to the right foot, flex the left foot, Skandasana. Walk around the right foot, drop the back knee, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Sink back, straighten the front leg, Hanumanasana. Shift forward, pivot around, Skandasana. Adjust your stance, back to center, Malasana. Home stretch. Inhale, rise. Exhale, moonflowers. Inhale, rise. Exhale, left arm on top for sunflowers. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Malasana. Let's walk to the left foot, pivot around, Skandasana. Swing around that foot, dropping the knee, coming into Anjaneyasana. Shift back, Hanumanasana. Inhale and pivot back to Skandasana. Cheat the foot in if you need to, back to center, Malasana. Inhale and rise. And catch your breath. That's a nice hip opening, quad stretching, hamstring stretching flow. Let's do a tiny bit of balance, tiny more bit of balance. Let's do our old favorite, tree pose. It'll be easier on a hard surface, harder on a squishy surface. Don't forget that Mula Bandha. You can also think about your Uddiyana Bandha, core lock here. But basically, same idea. We want to brace the core, creating stability from the core and creating connection between two sides of the body. If this is not engaged, trying to balance is very challenging. So we're going to engage the core, stack the spine, pack the shoulders. Let's ground into the right foot, bring hands to heart center. Left leg, come out to the side with a kickstand, just a light touch to pop us up, help us balance. You can also do that narrow base of support with the heel to the ankle. You can bring the left foot to the right calf, sealing the foot against the calf. Foot presses in, leg presses out. You can bring it up above the knee, not on the knee, please. To find tree pose. Core active, focus on a stationary spot. With drishti, your stationary focal point. You can go to the tree if you like. Let's come back to heart center and put that knee in front. Cross that foot over to the floor stretch. Hang out right here. You can sink your hips back. Hold your chest towards your shin for a kind of standing pigeon stretch. And rise back up. Hang your foot. Shake our legs out. Now, let's ground into the left foot and the heart center. Right foot can be kickstand out to the side. You can have heel to ankle. You can seal the foot against the calf or against the inner thigh. We've got our Mula Bandha, we've got our Vinyasa Bandha, we've got our Drishti. We're doing so much Sanskrit today. We can grow our tree. Brace. Let's come back to the heart center and bring that right knee forward. Cross over, number 4 here. Hang out here, and you can sink your hips back. Hold your chest towards your shin for our standing pigeon stretch. Breathe into it. Keep your focus on a stationary spot. Just rise up. Straighten out. Let's move down to the floor. Bring the soles of our feet together for Baddha Konasana, bound ankle pose. Bound angle pose. You can grab your ankles, you can stack your spine, you can lift the front body, and then folding forward, pressing the chest forward. You might bring your elbows against your inner thighs. If you do, you can press lightly, opening those hips a tiny bit more, breathing and sinking. And then rising back up. Let's extend the right leg out and bring the left foot to the right inner thigh. If you have a strap and want to wrap it around the ball of your foot, you can do that. Otherwise, we're going to face the foot so that your nose and navel are going to turn toward that foot. Stack the spine tall. We can just extend our arms forward. Inhale for length. Exhale, hinging from the hips, keeping the spine long, not rounding over, not yet. Breathing and lengthening, getting a stretch in the hamstrings. Imagine breathing all the way down to your hamstrings on this one. A couple of breaths here, finding that hamstring stretch, and then, after a couple of breaths, we can inhale deeply, and exhale, release and round over. Grabbing our shin, our foot, our ankle, our toes, whatever we've got going there. Letting the head hang. This is our Janu Shirshasana pose. Deeper hamstring stretch, also some low back stretch here. Again, let's imagine drawing the breath all the way down to the hamstrings, using our sinking breath to go deeper with each exhale and open up those hamstrings. We can release. We'll sit up slowly. Let's lift that left knee. We can either plant that left foot inside the right thigh or outside the right thigh. And sweeping our left arm behind, pressing ourselves up nice and tall, that left arm, lift that sternum. Now we're inhaling our right arm into the air, and we're exhaling our right elbow across our left knee. Inhaling tall, drawing in those abs to create space. Exhaling, taking a twist. This will be our deepest twist of the day. We're all warmed up. Well, maybe our second deepest, if one more to come. Breathe and stack, look over the shoulder, spinal twist. A couple of breaths here, trying to find range. But not forcing it, not wrenching that back, just, finding the range that works for you. And relaxing back through the center, walking your hands to the right side for a little counter twist. And coming back to center. Let's switch it out. Let's extend the left leg out and bring the right foot to the left thigh. Again, we're going to turn to face that left foot so that our spine is stacked. Nose and navel line up. If you've got a strap, you can use a strap. If you don't have a strap, sit up tall and reach straight forward. Inhale and lengthen straight forward. Not down, not yet. Keeping it straight forward helps us keep the lift of the body. Again, imagine drawing breath all the way down to the hamstrings. Breathe and sink. Inhale and exhale deeper into it. And now, and only now, deep inhale. Exhale, release and round into Janu Shirshasana. Grab your shin, your ankle, your foot, your toes. Let the head hang. Draw the breath all the way down to those hamstrings. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings and the lower back. Breathe and sink. Oh, releaseful. Now back up. Sit up. Let's extend our legs out. Shake them out. I was in a class once where the instructor said, I think he said bounce the calves. And I didn't know what he was saying. Something about cows. I don't know. It was something I couldn't quite get what he was saying. It's like, yeah, bounce the calves. All right, let's roll over face down. Do a little bit of locust. And for locust, you are welcome to stack your hands for this variation. You can also grab your opposite elbows and rest your forehead on your forearms. If you don't have four heads and don't have forearms, use whatever you've got. Now, let's bring those legs close together. Imagine zipping up our legs like we've got a zipper that connects the two legs together. First round, just lift the legs off the floor just enough to engage the glutes and lower back. Not trying to hyperextend here, just trying to engage the muscles and strengthen them. Couple of breaths, relax down. Round two, as we inhale, we'll lift the arms, the head, the shoulders, just enough to engage the back. Inhale and lift, and breathe, couple of breaths. Relax it back down. We have 2 more rounds to do. You can repeat just the legs, just the upper body. You can do any of those things twice if you like, or you can lift both. But just enough to engage the muscles. We're not trying to get a really deep bend. We're not trying to compress our backs. So, your choice. Inhale, lift what you want to lift, and breathe. Relax it down. We've got one more time coming. If you want a different variation, if you're doing both or if you're doing arms, you can bring your arms back to your side and imagine squeezing a beach ball behind your back. There's another variation if you like. Inhale, lift, squeeze. Relax it down. Let's bring our elbows under our shoulders. We can have parallel arms. We can interlace our fingers coming into Sphinx. I want you to relax your midsection, please. Relax your lower back. Let those hips just sink into the floor. And then push the elbows down, lift the chest up, shine the chest forward, and try to pull your rib cage away from your pelvis without using your abdominals or your lower back. Just using your arms and chest muscles, pulling forward, stretching out the midsection of your body. Couple of breaths. Let's slide our hands out for seal pose, press into the palms, a little bit of lift here. Relax down. We're going to press ourselves up and float our hips up and back and sink into child's pose. Nice long spine, decompress. This should feel very nice right about now. Letting go, letting hips sink, letting spine lengthen and traction. Let's walk our hands to the left side of the mat. We can even stack our right hand on top of our left hand if we'd like to. Inhale, and as you exhale, try to sink that right hip deeper toward that right heel because it probably popped up. As you inhale, try to expand the right side ribs and sink deeper. Hang out for a breath or two. We'll bring the hands back to center. We'll settle in. I like to find the length and find the breath before we move on from here. So settle in, let those hips sink out again, lengthen the spine. Then we'll walk our hands to the right side of the mat with the option to put the left hand on top of the right hand. We'll inhale and exhale to sink that left hip down toward that left heel. And we'll inhale to expand the left side ribs and exhale to sink deeper. Let's walk back to center, find our breath, find the length in the spine. Now we can slowly walk our hands in, sitting up slowly so that we don't get dizzy. Let that blood return to your brain. Let's drop to one hip. Swing our legs around and extend our legs out. Let's come to the top of the mat. Now let's draw in either one knee and roll down, or stack the spine, tuck the pelvis, and roll down, your choice. And you can draw the knees in, each hand grabs a knee. We'll stir like egg beaters. Reverse directions. Let's release the left leg out and down. Let's hug the right knee into the chest for a breath or two. And then with the left hand, we'll pull the right leg across the body, taking our final spinal twist. Shoulders are down. Let's take the right arm out to the side and turn the head to the right. Breathe and sink. Gently relaxing and melting into the twist, not forcing it, not wrenching the spine. This probably will be your deepest twist of the day. Roll back to center. Let's hug that right leg in one more time. Release it. Then hug the left knee in. Pull it into the chest. A couple of breaths here, hugging the knee into the chest, as close as you can get it. And then with the right hand, pulling the left knee across the body, keeping our shoulders down, extending our right arm to the side, turning our head to the right. Our final spinal twist, rolling to the right side. Breathing and sinking and relaxing. Coming back to center, let's hug that knee in. Let's pull that other knee in, hug both knees in. And release both legs out and down, coming into Shavasana. Relaxing our legs, letting our feet fall out to the side, sinking our hips to the floor. Adjusting our spine and neck as we need to find that nice length where we're comfortable and grounded. Arms down, palms up. Softly closing our eyes. Letting go of any tension in the neck, in the head, around the eyes and the jaw. Letting our shoulder blades and hips melt into the floor. Just being very aware of the weight of our bodies as they sink into the floor. Feeling very grounded into the floor and by extension into the earth. And coming back to the awareness of our breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Following our breath into our Shavasana. welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. Whenever you're ready, deepen our breath. And perhaps bring some movement to our fingers and toes. And perhaps rock the head from side to side. We can bend our knees and plant our feet a little wider than our hips so that our knees are falling inward. And we can just sway those knees from side to side, letting them rise and fall. Eventually, we'll roll onto one side, stacking one hip over the other, stacking one shoulder over the other. And then pressing ourselves up to our comfortable seated position, grounding our sits bones, stacking the spine, backing the shoulders back, lifting up to the crown of the head. And bringing our hands to heart center. I thank you for sharing this practice. Namaste.